Part 30. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 291. The people of the Xia family were shocked at the corner of the mountain in the Suzaku Holy Land. And Xia Yun was even more frightened. His fighting power was even comparable to that of some elders of the Xia family. But in front of Qin Feng, he couldn't even stop the opponent's moves or swords, which made him feel deeply desperate. At this time, Xia Yun discovered that after he gave the order, the other dozens of monks did not cooperate at all. In other words, the other nearly 40 monks did not listen to Xia Yun's instructions. "Xia Yu, what are you doing standing still? Hurry up!" Xia Yun's eyes turned cold, and he hurriedly urged that although 9 of his people were injured, with the help of the elixir, their combat effectiveness had not been lost much. Coupled with the 40 monks headed by Xia Yu, they are enough to beat Qin Feng to a pulp. "Xia Yun, when will it be your turn to give orders to me, Xia Yu?" Xia Yu's eyes were unkind, and all the monks behind him were his servants. More importantly, as a monk from the 4th level of mountain moving, Qin Feng didn't take Qin Feng seriously at all. "You are just like that good-for-nothing Xiaji. You are no match for Qin Feng." "That doesn't mean I can't do it. Senior brother Xia Yu, what time has it been? Can't you tell the difference? Qin Feng is very evil. Let's destroy him together, and the credit will be yours." Xia Yun was really anxious and angry. At this time, Xia Yu couldn't see that Qin Feng's strength was too terrifying. If they didn't join forces, they might not be able to destroy him at all. "Okay, I can go and you kill Qin Feng, but you have to give me 1,000 blood-moving pills as reward." "Okay, I agree." Xia Yun was very angry, but this was not the time for internal strife. Even if Xia Yu extorted money, he had to kill Qin Feng, otherwise everything would be in vain. "Don't move, I am enough alone, Qin Feng will die." When Xia Yu saw Xia Yun and others taking action together, he stopped him with a ferocious smile. He had the 4th level of cultivation to move mountains, enough to crush Qin Feng. Mountain Seal. Xia Yu's life is light, and he directly performs the mountain turning seal. This is the supreme martial arts technique of the King of Heaven. As soon as the mountain turning seal was used, an extremely powerful black mountain appeared in the void. The black mountain instantly attracted all the surrounding light, as if it had been swallowed up by the mountain. Then, with everyone's shocked and horrified eyes, the mountain crossing seal suppressed Qin Feng with unparalleled power. It was about to suppress all 4 of Qin Feng below and turn them into flesh. Oops! Zhu Yang, the elder of the Qin family, was horrified. He discovered that the mountain crossing seal used by Xia Yu was the superior martial arts of the Heavenly King. With such terrifying power, Qin Feng was afraid that it would turn him into a blood mist. He originally wanted to take action, but found that it was too late. He did not expect Xia Yu's fighting power to be so strong. Not only him, but even Zhu Luo felt a pang of regret in his heart. He couldn't help but blame Zhu Yang. If Zhu Yang hadn't blocked him again and again, he wouldn't have lost such a powerful genius like Qin Feng. What's more, if the Qin people in the ancient Holy Land are blamed in the future, their Suzaku Holy Land will also feel uncomfortable. The only good thing is that Qin Feng has not been accepted as a successor by the ancient Qin clan Holy Land, and the 2 holy places have not yet broken up. Qin Feng swung his sword and faced the mountain seal. He was fearless and fearless. The void was shaking. A red dragon shook the world. With the blessing of the 9 forbiddens, it penetrated directly through the void. A huge red dragon appeared here, shocking everyone present. The monks of the Xia family were all scared to death. At this moment, they felt as if they were facing the power of heaven and earth, and they were instantly frightened. Puff! The red dragon was earth-shattering and directly hit Xia Yu's mountain-climbing seal. The next moment, an earth-shaking power erupted, and then everyone was stunned. The black mountain was split open by Qin Feng's sword, then shattered into the void, shattered on the spot and dissipated into nothingness. Hiss! The Xia family's war servants and monks gasped. Qin Feng's methods were too powerful and domineering. The grace of that sword made everyone eclipsed by it. Qin Feng was like a dragon god descending to earth. The mountain-turning seal performed by Xia Yu was the supreme martial skill of the heavenly king, but it was destroyed by Qin Feng in an instant, which turned his face into the color of pig liver in an instant. He boasted about his bold words and took action alone, but he didn't expect to be defeated. For a moment, Xia Yun looked at him with eyes that made him feel like a ray of light on his back. In fact, Xia Yun was not laughing at him, he just found it unbelievable. Isn't Qin Feng's opponent even with the cultivation level of the 4th level of moving mountains? This is a good move. Take another move from me. After Qin Feng finished speaking, he thrust out his sword lightly. With the blessing of the 9 forbiddens, the sword move directly penetrated the void and hit Yu Yu's body. He was hit without even reacting. The next moment, the treasured armor on Xia Yu's body also collapsed in an instant. What was even more surprising was that one of his arms, which had reached the 4th level of mountain moving heaven, was cut into blood mist under this blow. Qin Feng, if you cripple my arm, I want you to die. Xia Yu was immediately stunned. His face was red, and his eyes were filled with fierceness. He took the elixir to stop the bleeding, and the heavy red light surged from his body. Kill him. Following Xia Yu's order, the dozens of monks behind him did not dare to neglect, and they all took action ruthlessly. At this moment, Xia Yu regretted very much. If she hadn't supported him, how could she have lost one of her arms? However, it is not too late to make amends at this time. After killing Qin Feng, there is still a chance to use the treasures of heaven and earth to nourish his arms. At the same time, Xia Yunyu's servant also joined the battle. The true energy in the void gathered, just like the gathering spirit formation. Countless spiritual energy between heaven and earth gathered towards them, and then all hit Qin Feng. Such power, peerless and violent to the extreme, is enough to blast Qin Feng and others into meat paste in an instant. Stop! At this time, Zhu Luo and Zhu Yang appeared. They knew that if they didn't take action at this time, Qin Feng would really be crippled, which they couldn't see. However, at this moment, the Xia family had already been furious. How could they listen to others? Dozens of fists, shaking the earth, hit Qin Feng and the other 4, without mercy. It was too late for Zhu Luo and Zhu Yang to intercept. Although they came nearby in an instant, the dozens of fist marks also hit Qin Feng and Zhou Qing'er. Dang! A shocking tremor came, the essence was permeating here, the mountain was shaking, and one after another terrifying cracks spread out. The true energy and fire rushed into the sky, as if a thunderclap had struck, which shocked the place to the extreme. When everything was gone, Zhu Yang and Zhu Lujing were stunned, and saw that Qin Feng's body was like a golden bell upside down, protecting the other 3 people. Dozens of monks in the realm of moving mountains, all hit with full force, were blocked by Qin Feng, and were not damaged at all. However, at this moment, Qin Feng's face was furious, and his murderous aura was surging in his heart. Because at that moment, he saw his little apprentice spitting blood and was injured. Looking for death. Qin Feng was furious, and his murderous aura swept across the field like a hurricane. Window. Tabula equals window. Tabula. Tabula.push, mode, thumbspeed -01, container, tabula below article thumbnail -300x250, placement, below article thumbnail -300x250, target. Type, mix. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fa. Chapter 292. Qin Feng felt very distressed when he saw his little disciple vomiting blood. His anger surges into the sky, and his anger is overwhelming, lingering here. You are seeking death. Qin Feng was furious, and his young apprentice Zhou Qing but the girl in Qin Feng's heart was considerate, and knew that Qin Feng was happy. She had already occupied a very important position in his heart. At this moment, Qin Feng saw that the girl was injured, his black hair was dancing wildly, a powerful cyclone arose around him, and the vision of the God King surrounded his body. A powerful atmosphere spreads out from the top of the mountain in the Suzaku Holy Land. The rising moon spreads the divine power, surging like the sea, and the terrifying momentum makes everyone present change their colors. Zhu Luo and Zhu Yang, who had just arrived, were all shocked. The power spread from Qin Feng made even the two people who moved the mountain to the 6th level feel threatened. Both of them could see that Qin Feng wanted to kill all the Xia family members here and turn them into scum. If he really does this, it will definitely trigger crazy revenge from the Xia family. More importantly, this is the Suzaku Holy Land. If something like this happens, it will damage the prestige of their holy land. This is to make it clear that they do not take their Suzaku Holy Land seriously, but they have long ignored that Qin Feng has been very restrained for fear of upsetting the Suzaku Holy Land. On the contrary, the Xia family has been causing trouble in the Suzaku Holy Land. However, at this moment, Qin Feng didn't care about revenge or not. If he injured his little apprentice, that wouldn't work. He was looking for death. Kunpeng Fist. Qin Feng directly wielded Kunpeng Fist, an inferior immortal grade. This boxing technique was one of his strongest martial arts. At this moment, when it was performed with the body of the God King, the void was shattering. With a boom, divine light shot into the sky, and Kunpeng's fist struck forward, directly hitting Xiaoyu. At this moment, Xiaoyu turned pale with horror. In an instant, heavy light shields surged around him, trying to block Qin Feng's attack. However, Qin Feng burst out with hatred. With the blessing of the 9 forbiddens, this punch had 81 times the power, shattering even the void. Xiaoyu, who had moved a mountain to the sky, was directly blown to pieces, and floating corpses were on the spot. Moreover, the power of this punch has not stopped yet. The powerful force moves forward again, destroying all obstacles, killing gods and Buddhas if they block them. The 4 Xia family servants were instantly blown to pieces. The fist wind continued to be powerful, and all the vegetation and rocks in front were shattered. A passage that was more than 100 feet long appeared, and the rocks collapsed and the clouds collapsed. You are seeking death. Qin Feng's brief words were recalled here, but they had an unspeakable terrifying power. His eyes were like lightning as he scanned the Xia family monks in front of him. His words were so sonorous that the heaven and earth shook. Qin Feng is enough. Zhu Yang's eyes narrowed. Qin Feng was so strong and killed Xiaoyu in front of them, which made his heart skip a beat. He actually didn't expect that Qin Feng would suddenly explode, and the power of the explosion would surpass the 4th level of moving mountains, and bombard Xiaoyu with one punch, so that he had no time to stop him. You want to stop me? Qin Feng's eyes were cold. People from the Xia family had been clamoring to kill him from the very beginning, but he had been restraining himself. As a result, he was a little careless and injured his little apprentice, which made him regretful. If he hadn't cared about the Suzaku Holy Land from the beginning, but had taken a strong strike and crippled and killed all these people, his little apprentice would not have been harmed. Qin Feng stared at Zhu Yang, who appeared in front of him. He found that this man was so powerful that he radiated power and enveloped the world. He was very powerful. He saw Zhu Luo next to Zhu Yang. Zhu Luo was the person in charge of the dining hall, which meant that the person who blocked him at the exit was from the Suzaku Holy Land. However, his little apprentice was injured. Even if the Suzaku Holy Land wanted to stop him, he would not give up the favor. Qin Feng has to be merciful and merciful. Although it was the Xia family who made the first move, you have already killed Xiaoyu and it is not appropriate to kill again. Zhu Yang came to the field with his hands behind his back and said coldly. Although Xiaoyu was about to take action just now, he didn't have time at all. Now that he has been brought to the field, he is confident that he can protect everyone around him. Are you teaching me how to do things? Qin Feng glanced at him coldly. He looked at Zhu Yang who was blocking him, with murderous auras surging around him. Qin Feng, you are too conceited. This is my Suzaku Holy Land, and you will not be allowed to act recklessly. Zhu Yang said indifferently that he didn't like Qin Feng's attitude very much, saying that he really hurt his love for talents, and that Qin Feng was indeed worth winning over. He didn't like the forward's attitude and character. Such a young man is too arrogant and needs to be treated well. Only by knocking and knocking can you know how deep the sky is and how high it is. Oh, you can't act recklessly. Then I ask, where were you when the Xia family took action against me? Was it not your Suzaku Holy Land at that time? When I took action, this place became your Suzaku Holy Land again. This truth is really new. The corners of Qin Feng's mouth curved in a cold arc, and Zhu Yang's appearance made him very unhappy. Qin Feng had noticed the appearance of the two men before. When they waited for Xia Yun to take action, they did not stop them, but when he took action, they suddenly appeared and asked him to be generous. It was really shameless. Qin Feng must not be rude. My senior brother Zhu Yang is the elder of the inner sect and is selecting true disciples. Please apologize to my senior brother. Zhu Luo frowned when he heard this. He felt that things were going to be worse. Qin Feng actually contradicted his senior brother directly, which blocked the channel to enter the inner gate of Suzaku Holy Land. Once Zhu Yang disagrees with Qin Feng's entry into the inner gate of the Suzaku Holy Land, won't the efforts he led be in vain? What's more, he wanted to win over Qin Feng because he was impressed by Qin Feng's qualifications and thought that Qin Feng would achieve great success in the future, which would be of great benefit to the Suzaku Holy Land. I don't care about Zhu Yang's cicada pupa, get out of the way, otherwise I will kill them all. Qin Feng was surrounded by the God King's body, and his divine power was surging like the sea. He looked at Zhu Luo and Zhu Yang indifferently, and had murderous intentions. If the two did not dodge, he would not mind teaching them a lesson. Ha 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 ha, Qin Feng doesn't really think you are a God King descended to the earth, right? Even if you are a God King descended to the earth, at this age, you are not the opponent of Elder Zhu. Xia Yun pretended to mock. At that moment, he felt like he was falling into an ice cellar, and his heart was about to die. He once thought that he would follow in Xia Yu's footsteps, which made him very regretful. At this moment, the appearance of the elders of the Suzaku Holy Land made him realize that things had taken a turn for the better. As long as he used it properly, his life today would be saved. Maybe Qin Feng really thought he was the descended God King. Someone among the Xia family's war servants echoed this. Before, Qin Feng faced dozens of them alone. With the blessing of the 9 Forbiddens, the God King's vision was so powerful that they almost thought they were facing the power of heaven and earth. At this moment, the elders of the Suzaku Holy Land appeared, and finally let them feel relieved. They couldn't help but feel that everything was fine again. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 293. Qin Feng was indifferent and silent. He looked at everyone with an extremely indifferent expression. At this time, Qin Feng found that his little apprentice's breath was even and long, and it seemed to be fine. He felt relieved. However, Xia Tian's people wanted to kill him over and over again, and he absolutely couldn't let him go. Qin Feng took a step forward, getting closer to Zhu Yang, and the Xia family monks were even closer. With his move, the Xiajia monks were shocked, feeling that Qin Feng wanted to take a strong move. The scene where Qin Feng blasted and killed Xia Yu on the 4th level of Moving Mountain was still vivid in their minds. Even if they thought they were good again, they all took a few steps back, looking extremely nervous. However, Qin Feng only made a fake move and did not take any action. This made all the Xia family monks look at each other, and the atmosphere was a bit awkward for a while. Qin Feng sneered and looked at everyone. He was actually picking up scratch cards. After killing Xia Yu, a diamond scratch card appeared on the spot. The explosion rate of this scratch card is very low. If you kill Xia Yu, you can get a scratch card, which is a very good reward. Ding! Congratulations to the host who successfully used the diamond scratch off card and obtained the mountain climbing seal of martial arts from the Heavenly King. Ding! Because the host has Pangu's bloodline, the Heavenly King's low-grade mountain turning seal has been upgraded to the immortal grade low-grade God King seal. Qin Feng's eyes lit up, and he learned the God King seal in an instant. As the God King seal reached the realm of transformation, Qin Feng got an ethereal and sacred breath. His whole body was filled with light, and the God King's vision reflected him like a banished immortal. The monks here, regardless of whether they have any grudges against Qin Feng, have to admit that Qin Feng does have the talent of heaven and an ethereal demeanor. This kind of charm and posture echoes with the sound of the mountains of the Suzaku Holy Land, and has a Taoist charm that dominates the world. What kind of God King body is absolutely vulnerable in front of Elder Zhu? There are monks in the Xia family, and Zhu Yang is here. As long as we flatter him, our life can be saved today. Such words made Zhu Luo dislike it very much. At this moment, everyone in the Xia family actually wanted to use the power of the Suzaku Holy Land to suppress Qin Feng, which made him very unhappy. But his senior brother Zhu Yang is a docile donkey. Such words will undoubtedly impress Zhu Yang and make him feel bad. Yes, Elder Zhu can kill you with one slap. Why are you so proud? Xia Yun also scolded that Xia Yu was slapped to death by Qin Feng just now, which made him terrified. At this time, the elder of the Suzaku Holy Land came forward to stop him, and he finally dared to scold Qin Feng again. The words of Xia Yun and others made Zhu Yang very useful. He put his hands behind his back, stood sideways to Qin Feng, and said coldly, "Qin Feng, I admit that you are so young and have good strength, but you are too young and angry. Shen, I don't know how high the sky is, but let me tell you what it means that there are people outside the sky, otherwise you will suffer a lot in the future with your temperament." Zhu Yang is very conceited. Qin Feng's performance is indeed very impressive, but he does not know how to behave. Being so disrespectful to him makes him very dissatisfied. As an elder of the inner sect of Suzaku Holy Land, he has always been extremely respected by others, but now he was looked down upon by Qin Feng, which really made him very angry. "You want to stand up for the Xia family?" Qin Feng glanced coldly. He looked at Zhu Yang in front of him, and two lightning flashed in his eyes. For some unknown reason, Zhu Yang felt his scalp numb and his soul trembled. This was an invincible trend that shook his soul. Certainly. Zhu Yang sighed softly in his heart, and then he stabilized his mind. Qin Feng's eyes just now made him feel as if he had fallen into an ice cellar. It was simply unbelievable. Is Qin Feng really so powerful that even the strength of the 6th level of moving mountains cannot have any impact on him? Zhu Yang was a little unsure about this tree, but with the gap of more than a dozen small realms, he felt that even if Qin Feng was invincible, he should not be equal. He was overthinking. Moreover, he felt that for the sake of Qin Feng's future, he had to suppress the other party. Otherwise, if Qin Feng really stayed here in the future, he would definitely be beaten. "Qin Feng, you are still so arrogant in front of Elder Zhu. You really don't take Elder Zhu seriously." Xia Yun continued to fight, and one of his arms was blown off by Qin Feng, which made him very resentful. As long as Zhu Yang takes action and injures Qin Feng, he can lead his men to get rid of Qin Feng secretly to avoid future troubles. "Idiot, do you really think I don't dare to kill you?" Qin Feng suddenly moved. He glanced coldly, and two golden lights in his eyes pierced the air. The blazing golden eyes, the two beams of light, the flowing terrifying power, instantly collided with Xia Yun's body, and even a powerful person like Zhu Yang could not stop it. These two gazes directly hit Xia Yun's body, as if two fairy swords penetrated Xia Yun's body. Puff! Xia Yun yelled, opened his mouth and vomited blood, and kept retreating. Two wounds appeared on his body, and blood spurted out. This scene was horrifying. Just one look made Xia Yun vomit blood. Such power was too invincible. You must know that Xia Yun is a true disciple of the Xia family. He is a genius who has been specially trained. He once looked down upon countless people, but now he has such a result. Zhu Luo clicked his fingertips and instantly sealed Xia Yun's acupuncture points and fed him pills. There was nothing he could do. This was the Suzaku Holy Land. If Qin Feng killed Xia Yun again, the face of the Suzaku Holy Land would be ugly. However, he also had to admit that Qin Feng's growth had made him look superior to the younger generation. Boy, you are so crazy. Zhu Yang was angry, his eyes were deep. Qin Feng dared to attack again in front of him, he didn't want to take him seriously. Qin Feng's expression was extremely calm, he was detached and calm. Since Zhu Yang had stopped him again and again, he decided to respond with actual actions and hit him directly in the face. Swish! Behind Qin Feng, the moon blade floated into the sky, and in an instant, the murderous aura swept the world and slashed at dozens of Xia family cultivators. You dare! Zhu Yang's expression was cold, he was glowing, and the divine flames around him were violently beating, which was the Suzaku divine fire. The Suzaku divine fire instantly melted Qin Feng's moon blade and protected everyone in the Xia family behind him. Qin Feng, you don't take me seriously, you suppress me. Zhu Yang took a step forward, and the blazing fire behind him intertwined to form a huge Suzaku, flowing out of divine will. You don't take me seriously. Qin Feng was unwilling to respond more. Since this Zhu Yang insisted on protecting everyone in the Xia family, he could only fight. Boom! Qin Feng flipped his hand, and a palm print appeared in his hand. The palm print turned into a mountain in the void, rising with the wind, flowing out a terrifying pressure. The God King seal flowed with the God King rune, and the energy surged, and then, it pressed down and broke the void. Window. Tabula equals window. Tabula. Tabula.push, mode, thumbspeed -01, container, tabula below article thumbnail -300x250, placement, below article thumbnail -300x250, target. Type, mix. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 294. In the void, the God King seal expanded, exuding a heart-pounding breath that destroyed the heavens and the earth. Zhu Yang frowned as he looked at the God Mountain that emerged in the sky. He could feel the palm print that appeared in the void, with unpredictable divine power and flowing out energy light like a vast ocean. In an instant, his vermilion bird divine light spread out divine brilliance and swept towards Qin Feng's God King seal, trying to lift it up directly. Puff! The God King seal continued to expand and suppress it, almost covering the entire sky, completely covering Zhu Yang underneath. Zhu Yang's vermilion bird divine fire was not able to stop it at all. At this moment, Zhu Yang's soul was all gone. His vermilion bird divine form claw slapped repeatedly and hit Qin Feng's God King seal. The powerful attack power was surging and suffocating. Finally, his vermilion bird divine form scattered Qin Feng's God King seal in the void, turning it into energy essence and disappearing into the invisible. However, the might here was too strong, alarming countless cultivators in the Suzaku Holy Land. Countless powerful masters flew over, hovered in the air, and stared at this place. What's going on? What happened? Countless Tianjiaos and elders and guardians in the Suzaku Holy Land were all very confused. How could such a suffocating breath come from this very remote hilltop, with a surging, domineering, and terrifying aura? Is that person Qin Feng? Some cultivators who had seen Qin Feng in the dining hall took a glance from a distance and felt that he looked very familiar. Are you talking about Qin Feng who caused a big commotion in the dining hall not long ago? Really? Look at the people surrounding him. They seem to be the cultivators of the Xia family. The other two people seem to be the elders of the Suzaku Holy Land. Hey, the one confronting Qin Feng seems to be Zhu Yang, the inner sect elder of the Suzaku Holy Land. Is Qin Feng facing the elders of the Suzaku Holy Land again? He is so domineering and strong. Qin Feng is too young and energetic. He should be curbed. Some of the older generation of cultivators said calmly that Qin Feng's performance surpassed countless young people, making them feel a sense of urgency. More importantly, Qin Feng was superior to their apprentices, making them very uncomfortable. Although Qin Feng is powerful, he can't even take a single move from the inner sect elder Zhu Yangpa. Finally, someone can suppress him. The people present were full of confidence in the elders of the Suzaku Holy Land. After all, Zhu Yang was a cultivator of the 6th level of moving mountains, and Qin Feng was a cultivator of the 3rd level of moving mind. It was easy for him to deal with a young cultivator. Boom! The claws of the Suzaku divine form slapped down again, and the divine fire flowing from the claws was dazzling. This is the Suzaku divine form, which is the holy method that the Suzaku Holy Land is proud of. Elder Zhu Yang actually cultivated the Suzaku divine form. He is indeed an old monster with good strength. Some cultivators were amazed. This is the Suzaku Holy Land. Using the Suzaku divine form to suppress Qin Feng can not only defeat Qin Feng but also enhance the reputation of their holy land. Moreover, the holy mountain here has the blessing of the Dao Yun for the Suzaku divine fire, which can double the strength. Pa! However, a scene that everyone did not expect happened. Qin Feng's palm went up against the air, instantly breaking the claws of the Suzaku god, and the power continued to increase. A large blue handprint appeared in the void, shining with lightning, and then, the incomparable handprint flowed with brilliant divine power. Under the blessing of the 9 prohibitions, the 81 times of power were superimposed, and the Suzaku god in the void was blown up in an instant. In an instant, Elder Zhu Yang was struck by lightning, his body trembled, and a little blood spurted out of the corner of his mouth. The Suzaku god was broken, and Zhu Yang was also backlashed and slightly injured. Looking for death. At this time, Zhu Yang was really angry. He has lived for nearly 100 years now, and his Taoism is unfathomable, but he was not only at a disadvantage but also injured in the attack, which made him unacceptable. Swish, swish, swish. 3 vermilion bird divine forms rushed up to the sky, and the divine fire surged. The powerful force in the flow, the unparalleled destructive power, melted everything. However, Qin Feng was still calm at this time. He raised his hand and shot another divine king seal. The divine king seal under the blessing of the 9 prohibitions was shining brightly, and the lightning was intertwined. In an instant, the 3 vermilion bird divine forms were smashed again by Qin Feng, and the overflowing palm wind swept Zhu Yang's body. Zhu Yang trembled and flew backwards. Bang! The palm wind of the divine king seal was imprinted on a huge strange stone, and the strange stone collapsed instantly. Zhu Yang, who was swept by Qin Feng's palm wind, had his entire arm completely deformed. If it weren't for his deep divine power and the protection of the treasure armor, his arm would have been beaten into a bloody mist by Qin Feng. How is this possible? Is this the power of the God King body? The flesh body is so strong. The elders of the Suzaku Holy Land were also defeated. They were broken and twisted by Qin Feng's palm wind. The monks and disciples who were watching all took a breath. They never expected that this would be the result. At the beginning, they all supported Zhu Yang. They didn't expect Zhu Yang to be so vulnerable. This made them feel cold. Qin Feng's performance was too evil. I'm afraid that no one can be his opponent except the descendants of the Holy Lands. At this moment, Qin Feng flew into the air. He was suspended in the air. The visions of the God King were intertwined around him. The energy behind him was like a vast ocean, and a terrifying breath flowed. That's it, you still want to teach me how to do things? Qin Feng sneered repeatedly. He was ethereal and sacred. The body of the God King surrounded him, flowing with terrible pressure that shook people's hearts. Kill! Zhu Yang's shock was indescribable. He swallowed a pill and floated in the air. A terrifying aura shook his body. Swish! A Suzaku divine form condensed out. At this moment, the Suzaku divine form flowed with brilliant golden fire, and its strength became more terrifying, spreading unparalleled energy. This golden fire was completely different from the divine fire he had at the beginning. It was compressed energy, and its power was multiplied several times. Not only that, one after another flames in the mountains came to bless his Suzaku divine form. This is the Suzaku Holy Land. There is a Taoist rhyme on the holy mountain that can bless the divine fire. As the Suzaku divine form took shape, it flowed with mysterious secret power one after another. The extreme intention spread here, and the air bloomed with ocean-like hot energy. The leaves of the surrounding vegetation were curling, and the high temperature spread here wave after wave, which was amazing. Brother, don't do that. At this moment, Zhu Luo panicked. He found that Zhu Yang really had the intention to kill. This compressed form of the vermilion bird was a secret method that Zhu Yang cultivated with his life at stake. Its power was multiplied several times, enough to wipe out a cultivator at the moving mountain realm. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 295. Zhu Yang's black hair was flying wildly. He quickly connected the broken arm, then shouted loudly and slashed his palm forward. In an instant, the golden Suzaku divine form in the void flowed out a terrifying aura and rushed towards Qin Feng. The golden Suzaku divine form exuded an indescribable terrifying power. Kill! At this time, Zhu Yang had already lost his mind due to anger. Zhu Luo's words were automatically ignored by him. Although the golden Suzaku divine form was very young, the terrible pressure it exerted shook people's hearts. Chasing the golden Suzaku divine form and pressing down, bursts of extreme intent came from the void, and the terrible temperature made people unable to breathe. At this moment, countless young cultivators and people from the Xia family were terrified. Some people collapsed on the ground on the spot, and their souls felt the pressure of fear and were throbbing. The golden Suzaku divine form was like an ancient sacred mountain, suppressing their spirits and making them unable to get up. More importantly, the temperature of this small hilltop has also become extremely high, and even the air you breathe in is extremely hot and unbearable. Qin Feng's heart condensed slightly. Zhu Yang really has some tricks, but the cultivator of the 6th level of moving mountains is not invincible. Bang! Qin Feng raised his hand to throw the mountain, and the God King seal also shook out a terrifying breath and smashed it towards the Suzaku god form above. The God King seal at a moment seemed to have formed a physical body to suppress it. The God King seal under the blessing of the 9 forbidden domain became extremely clear, flowing with a vast breath, making people tremble. At this moment, with Qin Feng as the center, the God King vision surged, and the powerful energy fluctuations in the God King sea were undulating like wheat waves. The bright moon was hanging high, and the God King moved the sky. God King seal! Qin Feng shouted loudly, and the God King seal rushed into the sky. Under the blessing of the 9 forbidden domain, it shook out 81 times the power, which made everyone terrified. The God King seal confronted the Suzaku divine form, and the energy aura fluctuations like a landslide and tsunami spread in the void. The destructive energy collided with the Suzaku divine fire, and there was no longer peace here. The divine fire and energy rushed in all directions, and there was a loud noise, as if the thunder had descended here. Bang! A loud noise came, and the Suzaku divine form was shattered in an instant under the collision of Qin Feng's God King seal. And the God King seal, which was superimposed with 81 times the power, also shattered in an instant, and the explosive aura rolled the world and rushed to all directions. Sparks shot between heaven and earth, and the Suzaku divine form blessed by the divine mountain of the Suzaku Holy Land was like a thunder and fire from the sky, ravaging the mountain tops of this holy land. Countless vegetation divine fires were vaporized in an instant, the temperature here soared, and the divine fire rolled the world. Some cultivators of the Xia family were unable to dodge, and were ignited by the divine fire in an instant, and instantly turned into flying ashes, and many places were completely deformed. At this moment, all the Xia family cultivators surged out of layers of light curtains, trying to stop the Suzaku divine fire. However, the energy of the divine fire of the sixth heaven of moving mountains was rampant, and with the blessing of the Suzaku holy mountain, it could break through anything. In an instant, 2 more people were pierced and turned into ashes. The rest of the people were all stunned. They gasped and trembled all over. At this time, Zuluo took action, slapped out palm wind with both palms, and protected the other people of the Xia family. However, Qin Feng and Xiao Lun were not so lucky. The divine fire rushed towards them all at once, shaking the world. Xiao Lun also surged out of layers of light curtains in an instant, trying to protect the 2 people. However, although his cultivation of the second heaven of moving mountains was powerful, he was unable to face the Suzaku divine fire. Zhou Qing'er and Wang Shui also felt the threat. When they thought about it, the lower-grade Ruyi armor of the immortal product covered their bodies, blooming with a bright and shining treasure to protect themselves. At the same time, Qin Feng took a step forward, and he stepped on the immortal step to shrink the ground into an inch, and arrived in front of the 2 people. The God King's vision turned into a golden bell, and it burst into a golden light that covered the 3 people, all the dragons. The terrifying divine fire hit Qin Feng's golden bell, but it could not destroy the divine golden bell. The high temperature raged, and the place where they stood turned into magma. Then the cooling of the true energy crystallized and carbonized, and it burst into a dark luster. Qin Feng and the other 4 were fine. His God King body was golden bell. Under the blessing of the 9 prohibitions, nothing could break it. He completely protected the 3 people. On the contrary, the cultivators of the Xia family were in a mess. Even with Zuluo's protection, they still lost 6 people. You want to teach me how to do things? The control of yourself is far from the level of perfection. Qin Feng sneered, and 2 golden rays of light shot out of his eyes, like a golden lamp, making the place horrified. Your Suzaku divine form is not good, let me show you mine. As Qin Feng finished speaking, a Suzaku divine form also appeared beside him. Under the blessing of the 9 forbiddens, the Suzaku divine form was brilliant, and it expanded with the wind, and it suddenly became larger, and it was suddenly horizontal in front of him. At this moment, the Suzaku divine form flowed out a terrifying divine light, and the temperature was so fierce that even the void was distorted. The pressure of the divine form was so heavy that the mountain could not bear it, and it was covered with cracks and trembling. Zuyang and Zuluo were surprised that Qin Feng could also use the Suzaku divine form, and it seemed that the power was not weaker than that of the people in the Suzaku Holy Land. Suppress. Qin Feng said 2 words, and the Suzaku divine form pressed down, and the flowing divine fire made the void here distorted and powerful, making countless people feel suffocated. Buzz. In an instant, the divine fire blessed by the 9 forbiddens drowned Zuyang and the cultivators of the Xia family on the spot, and flowed out a terrifying force. In an instant, the light shield of the Xia family monks protected by Zuyang was shattered, and then the divine fire suppressed it. Xia Yun and some monks were instantly vaporized. Even Zuyang's hair was curly, and he felt in his heart that Qin Feng's Suzaku divine fire was more powerful than his, and his chi shield couldn't stop it at all. If it weren't for the fact that he also practiced the fire-attributed Suzaku Divine Fire, he would probably have turned into ashes under the power of Qin Feng's moves. Gudong. Zhu Yang swallowed a mouthful of saliva reluctantly. He felt awe-inspiring in his heart. He felt that compared with Qin Feng's, his Suzaku Kung Fu was like a firefly and a bright moon, unable to compete at all. This was unacceptable to him. Qin Feng only has the cultivation level of the third heaven, which is more than a dozen small realms lower than him. Such a gap is originally insurmountable. If other monks encounter it, they will definitely be vaporized in an instant. But Qin Feng, this evildoer, was ineffective at all, and even suppressed him, making him unable to control himself. Do you still want to protect them? Qin Feng was suspended in mid-air. He was condescending and looked down at Zhu Yang below, his expression extremely calm. After all, this Zhu Yang is the elder of the Suzaku Holy Land. It is enough to teach him a lesson. If he were to kill him directly here, it would be difficult for the girl Suzaku. I lost. Zhu Yang said, very frustrated that he had been practicing for decades and had already entered the palace, but he was no match for Qin Feng. Not long ago, he was boasting that he wanted to teach Qin Feng a lesson, but he was taught a lesson. Thinking about it now, he was really ashamed. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 296. At this time, in the main hall of the Suzaku Holy Land, where the White Jade Holy Lord was, a majestic aura flowed around the Holy Lord of the Suzaku Holy Land. He looked down at a middle-aged man below and said calmly, Brother Xia, I think matters between young people should be resolved by the young people themselves. What do you think? The middle-aged man is wearing brocade clothes and exuding a domineering aura. He is the head of the Xia family. Although the Xia family patriarch's strength is unfathomable in the entire Great Yan Kingdom, he does not dare to be too powerful in front of Holy Master Suzaku. This time, the head of the Xia family came to congratulate the Holy Master on his birthday. In order to train his disciples, he brought countless geniuses from the Xia family and wanted to compete with some genius disciples from the Suzaku Holy Land. What Brother Zhu said is true. Young people must grow through experience. The head of the Xia family smiled without trace. He had already learned the news that Xiaji had lost one of his arms by Qin Feng. This incident undoubtedly caused the Xia family to lose a lot of face. In the past, he would have sent a master to slap Qin Feng to death. Qin Feng has repeatedly opposed his Xia family, which has already made him murderous. However, this place is the holy land of Suzaku, and naturally his guests cannot overstep their bounds. More importantly, he believes that the genius of the Xia family can definitely destroy Qin Feng. The head of the Xia family had already learned from the words of the Holy Lord of the Vermilion Bird that the other party wanted to protect Qin Feng, but he believed that Qin Feng was a disciple of the Qin clan, and he was afraid that it would be impossible to stay in the Holy Land of the Vermilion Bird. He also knew that the reason why Holy Lord Suzaku wanted to protect Qin Feng was probably because of the ancient Qin clan. Because if Qin Feng is killed by an older generation of masters in the Suzaku Holy Land, the Qin clan will blame the two holy lands and inevitably lead to a split, causing immeasurable consequences. Moreover, if Qin Feng is defeated in the confrontation between young people, he will be able to block the mouth of the ancient Qin clan. When young people fight, mistakes are inevitable, and it is difficult for older people to intervene. He believes that his genius will ambush Qin Feng. After all, nothing will go wrong. Even if Qin Feng could escape by chance, he could be killed on the way when he left the Holy Land. In short, for their sake, Qin Feng must not live. The mountain top of Suzaku Holy Land was filled with energy. The Xia family monks suffered heavy losses. 2 true disciples were killed, causing the place to boil instantly. Qin Feng was suspended in the mid-air, with dazzling light all over his body. He looked down at the countless monks with arrogant postures around him. The 2 major disciples of the Xia family wanted to ambush me. In order to save my life, I had to kill them. Qin Feng's words were not loud, but he exuded powerful majesty. He looked down at all the monks, and his whole body was as strong as the demon god coming. I hereby declare that anyone can challenge me to avenge the 2 of them. Qin Feng dropped these words, picked up a diamond scratch card that appeared from Xia Yun's rower, took the 2 women and Xiao Lun into the air, and disappeared from here. As for Zhu Yang and Qin Feng, he didn't even look at him. Zhu Yang's combat effectiveness had declined. Even if he wanted to be disadvantageous to Qin Feng, he no longer had any substantial strength. On the contrary, it was Zhu Luo who made Qin Feng a little concerned. He remembered that this man seemed to be the leader of the 8 guards of the Suzaku Holy Land, and his appearance was very similar to the person in charge of the dining hall. Not long after, Qin Feng blew out hundreds of magical pills in the small courtyard where he lived. Qin Feng himself was on the verge of a breakthrough. After swallowing these hundreds of divine moving pills, Qin Feng was promoted to a monk in the 4th level of moving heaven. The news that Qin Feng had killed Xia Yu and Xia Yun had already spread in the holy mountain. Qin Feng stayed in the small courtyard to prepare for the Xia family's crazy revenge. At night, the moon rises high into the sky, and the bright moonlight shines on Qin Feng's small courtyard, making it full of energy. Squeak! As Qin Feng's door was opened, the young apprentice walked into Qin Feng's room. Qin Feng opened his eyes from the jade futon. With a meaningful smile on his lips, he looked at Zhou Qing'er who walked in. Master, I was wrong, and I'm here to apologize to you. Zhou Qing'er gently pulled the corner of his clothes and said to Qin Feng in a tone of admitting his mistake. Qin Feng looked at Zhou Qing'er with interest and said, "Tell me, where did you go wrong? I shouldn't have bitten my tongue, causing Master to think I was hurt and get furious." Zhou Qing'er blinked her beautiful eyes and looked pitiful. She really didn't mean it. Qin Feng's mouth twitched when he heard this. No wonder when he checked Zhou Qing'er's injury, he found that Zhou Qing'er was fine. Originally, he thought that Zhou Qing'er had stayed by his side all year round and was nourished by his divine king's aura, resulting in a physique that was different from ordinary people's. Ordinary minor injuries would heal quickly, so he didn't think much about it. But at this moment, it seems that this is not the case. The whole cause of the incident was actually because this girl bit her tongue. You really know how to choose the time and bite your tongue. Qin Feng was speechless, but he had no choice. He looked at the little girl's pitiful appearance and couldn't blame her. Strictly speaking, the little girl did not say that she was injured. Everything was Qin Feng's own subjective guess. What's more, everyone in the Xia family really wanted to kill Qin Feng. Although this is just a misunderstanding, Zhou Qing'er can't really be blamed for this misunderstanding. The blame can only be blamed on the real disciple who was removed from the rack because he wanted to kill Qin Feng and also wanted to steal his maid apprentice. Master, I was really wrong. If Master doesn't feel angry, he can punish me. My disciple will never complain. Zhou Qing'er lowered her head, about to cry. Her beautiful eyes were full of cunning, pretending to cry but not shedding tears, pretending to be very realistic. Unfortunately, the master was a blockhead. No matter how explicit and proactive she was, the other party could not find out her intentions. It's not a big deal, I won't blame you. If you're fine, go back and rest. Qin Feng smiled bitterly. How could he blame Zhou Qing'er for such a small matter? Master, are you sure you won't punish me? If you do, I won't be able to sleep well at night. And if you miss this village, there will be no such store. Zhou Qing'er pouted her little mouth with disappointment on her face. The blockhead of the master hurt the little girl greatly. There was nothing she could do. In the end, She could only sigh and close Qin Feng's door and walked out. No words were spoken that night, and the next day, the sun rose to the top of the mountain. Xiao Lun came to Qin Feng's courtyard again. He regarded himself as Qin Feng's little follower and respected Qin Feng very much. Qin Feng's performance yesterday had already impressed him. If he were the God King, he would definitely have a place among the peerless masters of the ancient continent in the future. And if he could stay by Qin Feng's side, his status would definitely rise and he would get a lot of credit. Is Mr. Qin here? At this time, Qin Feng's courtyard was pushed open again, and then a beautiful little girl walked in. Window. Tabula equals window. Tabula. Tabula.push, mode, thumbs feed -01, container, tabula below article thumbnail -300x250, placement, below article thumbnail -300x250, target. Type, mix. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 297. What's up? Qin Feng's eyes were calm, and he looked at the little girl in front of him. She was 16 or 17 years old, wearing the clothes of the Suzaku Holy Land, and her cultivation was in the Holy Realm. The Holy Lady sent me here, saying that she wanted to meet Mr. Qin in private. The little girl saluted Wanfu, feeling a little nervous. When she saw Qin Feng Hao, she quickly took a few steps and said, "Nowadays, Qin Feng's reputation has already shattered the legend on the Holy Mountain. Many people are afraid of Qin Feng's power, and it is normal to be afraid and cautious. You seem to be afraid of me." Qin Feng smiled and said, "The little girl is 16 or 17 years old and should be Suzaku's maid. She has the strength to enter the Holy Realm at a young age, which is already extraordinary. People in the Holy Land say that Mr. Qin has 3 heads and 6 arms and is the descendant of a divine king. That's why I was a little nervous. I didn't expect that Mr. Qin would be so handsome when I saw him today. He is completely different from the rumors." The little maid did not dare to look into Qin Feng's eyes. She explained why she was a little nervous and reserved. Qin Feng smiled and nodded, but he didn't expect that he had become a monster. "How is that girl doing?" "Ah." The little girl was a little confused and didn't know how to answer for a moment. Could it be that the girl Qin Feng was talking about was his own lady? "That's you, my lady saint." Qin Feng explained helplessly that Suzaku was his maid, so he was used to screaming like a girl, which made Suzaku's maid a little confused. "The Holy Lady has been under house arrest recently. She is not allowed to have contact with outsiders until the new Holy Son of the Suzaku Holy Land is elected. Today, the Holy Lady sneaked out and wanted to meet the young master." Suzaku's maid told the reason why Suzaku didn't come to see Qin Feng. Every few years, the Suzaku Holy Land will select a true Holy Son from among some candidates to pass on the powerful martial arts of the Holy Land. Such Holy Sons are all geniuses among men. In the future, they will also compete with other Holy Sons for the position of Holy Lord of the Holy Land. They are like dragons and phoenixes among men. Okay then, let's lead the way. Qin Feng waved his hand to signal the little girl to go first, and then he followed with Zhou Qing'er and Wang Shui. Xiao Lun was left to look after the house and help collect the letters of challenge from countless talented monks. "Master Qin, please come with me." The little girl led Qin Feng forward. Although her cultivation was not comparable to that of Qin Feng and others, it was still good. She appeared 100 meters away in an instant. As the path became more and more difficult to walk and the area became more and more remote, Qin Feng and the other 3 frowned without leaving any trace. There was indeed something wrong with the little girl in front of them. After turning several places, the little girl suddenly accelerated and widened the distance between Qin Feng and the others. Immediately after, a dozen powerful monks appeared from behind the grass and surrounded Qin Feng and the other 3. The leading young man is tall, wearing green clothes, and exuding a cold aura. He is Xiaji's senior brother Xia Yet. The relationship between the two is very good. They have been through life and death, and they have experienced together when they were young. They are not real brothers, but better than real brothers. After learning that his junior brother Xiaoji was defeated by Qin Feng, he immediately gathered his masters and sent Qin Feng to come here as well. Senior brother, he is the one who crippled one of my arms. Xiaoji's eyes were cold, he pointed at Qin Feng's voice and shouted angrily. I have already attracted Mr. Qin, please give me the antidote quickly. The antidote is nothing but an antidote, I'm just lying to you. Xiaoji sneered, this girl was the maid beside Suzaku, and it was precisely because of the blood amber that he deceived Qin Feng into coming here. You are shameless. The little girl shouted angrily, then rose into the sky, trying to escape from this place. An ant-like existence in the Holy Realm wants to escape, but can it escape? Xiaoye sneered, and there were two substantial murderous intentions in his eyes. If the little girl ran away and reported to the Suzaku Saint, everything would be exposed. At this moment, the only way to solve the trouble is to kill and silence. When Xiaoji grabbed the maid with a palm like an eagle's claw, with the strength to move mountains and the fifth level of the sky, covering the sky and the sun, it was extremely terrifying. At this moment, the little girl turned pale with horror. Her face was ashen and she closed her eyes tightly, knowing that she would not be able to escape again. Bang! Suddenly, a palm print was slapped upwards, hitting Xiaoye's eagle claws, making a huge sound. The sound of the sonic boom was like a yellow bell vibrating, and it disappeared instantly. The maid Xiaolan was surprised. She opened her eyes and saw Qin Feng's retracted palm. At this moment, Qin Feng stood in the mountains, his white clothes were dusty, and his black hair was flying. He pinched the God King seal in his hand and saved her life. Xiaoye was startled, and then showed a terrible murderous intention. He slapped forward. He didn't believe that the forward could block his palm. Clang! The terrifying blow resounded throughout the world again, and Xiaoye's palm prints vibrated again, magnified a lot, and the brilliance was so bright that it covered half of the void. Boom! Qin Feng also raised his fist and struck. The divine power in his palm shot up to the sky, smashing Xiaoye's palm print again. At the same time, he fished out the God King seal and brought the maid Xiaolan to his side. The maid Xiaolan looked at Qin Feng in disbelief. She had deceived Qin Feng, but the other party was so generous and came to help twice, which made her very ashamed. Thank you Mr. Qin for saving me. The maid Xiaolan knelt on the ground. It was all her fault that Qin Feng was in such danger. The other party didn't stop and even came to the rescue regardless of past grudges, which made her feel ashamed. Well, I only saved you because I wanted you to be a witness. Qin Feng said calmly, the Xia family's people are here again, and he should find an outsider to be a witness to witness his obliteration of the Xia family's genius. At this moment, the atmosphere here was very strange, and all the surrounding beasts and creatures lost their voices for a while. Everyone felt a sense of fear flowing here, and murderous intent rose and fell. The Divine King's body is nothing more than that. Xiaoye sneered. His two palms just used only 30% of his power, and Qin Feng could only do the same. He. Qin Feng smiled and walked forward and said, you Xia family's geniuses are nothing more than that. I fell down before I even exerted any force. The vision of Qin Feng God King surrounds his body, and an invisible murderous intention pervades the fields. His sea of visions of God King leads the general trend of the world. Endless energy drooped down, the power of the God King was earth-shattering, and the terrifying pressure was flowing, making people frightened. Those people are just careless. You are still unable to compete with our Xia family. Now I will personally suppress you. Xiaoye gave a soft drink, and murderous intent flowed from his eyes, spreading terrifying power on his body, and then a long knife appeared behind him, blooming with dazzling light. This Xiaoye cultivated the magic sword phenomenon. The vision of the divine sword was earth-shattering, interweaving chi and principles, and then splitting out a brilliant blade of light, splitting the void in an instant. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fa. Chapter 298. The Vision of the Divine Sword. With Xiaoye's roar, a bright red light sword, carrying a powerful sword light, instantly struck Qin Feng. The space was cut open, and spider web-like cracks spread. Seal of the God King. At the same time, Qin Feng also shouted loudly, and the divine voice sounded here like thunder. Above his head, a huge palm print appeared. The palm print swelled with the storm, like a mountain, flowing out the most terrifying power. The void was suppressed and distorted, and it almost collapsed. The divine sword collided with the divine king's seal, and strong winds spread out from the void. Energy like the vast sea swept across, and a powerful whirlwind blew here. For a moment, the mountains shook and the ground shook, and the energy trembled wildly. At this moment, Xiaoye's eyes showed horror. Even though he was in the realm of moving mountains and the fifth level of heaven, facing Qin Feng's divine king seal, he still couldn't stop the vision of his divine sword, and there was a strong feeling deep in his soul. Sense of fear. Boom. The God King seal suppressed it, and the void was twisting, as if the heaven and earth were being destroyed by this bombardment. In an instant, Xiaoye's divine sword vision was shattered by Qin Feng's divine king seal, and a huge wailing sound came from his mouth. Xiaoye, who was as powerful as moving mountains and the fifth level of the sky, was completely unable to withstand Qin Feng's immortal God King seal. At this moment, Xiaoye's eyes showed horror, and his steps suddenly became clumsy, trying to escape. However, how could Qin Feng let him escape at this time? In an instant, a long knife appeared in his hand, and the long knife swept over and locked his body. Puff! The sword energy filled the air, and immortal killing Shura used the most common sword technique. The sword energy was still everywhere, roaring in, and cutting off one of Xiaoye's arms. Ah! The scream sounded instantly, and Xiaoye Yukong appeared in the distance. His body was bleeding, and his heart was also bleeding, and he lost the courage to fight. As one of the geniuses of the Xia family, he originally thought he could shake Qin Feng, but he didn't expect that one of his arms would be lost in one encounter, which he couldn't accept. What are you still doing? Hurry up! Xiaoye was very angry. As his voice fell, the monks around him swarmed up and rose up into the sky with fierce momentum. Brush! Qin Feng's finger sword appeared in the form of a red bird. In an instant, it went out to light a fire and swept across the void. Xiaoji and the fastest monks disappeared directly into the sky and were vaporized. At this moment, Qin Feng's Suzaku divine form is on the Suzaku sacred mountain. With the blessing of divine power, coupled with the superposition of his 9 forbiddens, the energy is 81 generations, and it is extremely terrifying. Xiaoji and the Xia family monks couldn't resist at all and turned into ashes. Xiaoye, who was suspended in the air, was dumbfounded on the spot. At this moment, it seemed that all the people he gathered were experts at moving mountains from the 4th level. However, Qin Feng killed several people in an instant, and they were unable to stop him. This was too terrifying. Come together! Xiaoye was furious. He gave an order and the dozen or so mountain-moving monks surrounding him did not dare to make any more mistakes. They all started to surround Qin Feng and all attacked. A cold smile appeared on Qin Feng's lips. He stepped on the immortal walk and turned into a stream of light, killing the monks from the Xia family who were surrounding him. These people dared to lead themselves here, which means that they have definitely taken a foolproof plan and the news will not leak out at this time. Then, I can use my true strength to fight back and kill these people, destroying their corpses and destroying their traces. Brush, brush, brush. The sword energy was rampant here, and the immortal killing Shura swept across the sky, instantly killing more than a dozen Xia family monks. Except for Xia Ye, all the Xia family monks fell and their bodies were lying on the spot. The immortal killing Shura is an inferior weapon of the immortal grade. It is blessed with strength and unpredictable. In an instant, it killed more than a dozen Xia family monks who were in the mountain-moving realm, which frightened Suzaku's maid Xiaolan. What a terrifying weapon! Xiaolan hid behind Qin Feng, trembling. After seeing Qin Feng's sword skills again, she was inevitably frightened. Qin Feng's sword skills are very refined, but his weapons exude terrifying power. Even on the holy mountain of Suzaku Holy Land, there are few weapons like this. I was wrong. When Xiaolan saw Zhou Qing'er looking at her with evil intentions, she quickly kowtowed and admitted her mistake. Humph, considering that you are Sister Zuck's maid, I will spare you this time. Zhou Qing'er was very dissatisfied. It was not because she was a maid that she would not let her go. Qin Feng killed more than a dozen mountain-moving monks from the Xia family with one blow, and Xia Ye was immediately frightened. He came to ambush Qin Feng, and all he brought with him were masters from the mountain-moving realm. Unexpectedly, he was killed by Qin Feng in an instant, which was unacceptable to him. Qin Feng, are you really not afraid of the revenge of our Xia family when you act like this? Xia Ye's face was cold, and his whole body was surrounded by divine light. He was weighing in his mind whether he should fight Qin Feng desperately or take the opportunity to escape. Although he had a broken arm, he still had the strength to fight, and he was confident that he could defeat the enemy on his own. If I were afraid of the Xia family's revenge, would I still be alive today? Qin Feng's face was extremely calm, not to mention that this place was extremely secretive. It was precisely because of this that Xia Ye led him here. Fight! Xia Ye felt furious in his heart. Although Qin Feng was strong, he was still sure of killing the enemy. Smash the void with a knife. As Xia Ye shouted loudly, a big knife appeared behind him. The big knife merged with himself, becoming the only one in the world. Qin Feng, even if the Suzaku Holy Land protects you, I will kill you today. The bright broadsword made a sound and then chopped towards Qin Feng. In an instant, the sword energy surged, the storm gathered, and the void spread out waves, with great momentum. At this time, Qin Feng was extremely calm. He was still fearless when facing the opponent's sword shattering the void. This sword shattering the void was different from the vision of the God King who was united with himself and in human form. The opponent turned into a broadsword, which had a taste of fusion of weapons and body. Dang! The immortal slayer directly collided with the bright divine sword vision, and a shocking sound came from the sky and the earth. Afterwards, Xia Ye was directly beaten out of the vision state by Qin Feng. Blood flowed from the corner of his mouth and he was injured by Qin Feng's sword energy. Don't overestimate your own abilities. Qin Feng's eyes flashed with cold lightning, and he swung the immortal slayer in his hand. The terrifying sword energy was surging, and in an instant, Xia Ye was cut in half, and his body lay there. Xia Ye misjudged his own strength after all, and fell directly on the spot, dying instantly. This scene did not cause much ripples in the hearts of Wang Shui and Zhou Qing'er, because they had seen such things more than once. On the contrary, Zuck's maid Xiaolan seemed to have turned into an ice sculpture. She stood there in a daze. This method was very spicy, and the killing method was decisive, which shocked her very much. Ding! Congratulations to the host for using the diamond scratch card to obtain the lower level immortal skill, the Immortal Slaying 8 Styles. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 299. With Qin Feng's cultivation and understanding, he learned the 8 immortal slashing styles in an instant. This 8 immortal slashing styles is a low-grade sword technique of the immortal grade. When used with the immortal slaughtering Azura, its power is unprecedented. Qin Feng tried to complete a sword flower. When the first style was used, the void was instantly shattered, and a terrifying divine power burst out, with the power to crush all the ways. Killing all the enemies here, only one card was exposed, and the explosion rate was really too low. If you can get a martial art of the lower grade of the immortal grade, it's not bad. It's not advisable to stay here for a long time, let's leave first. As Qin Feng's voice fell, he disappeared here with the three women and returned to the courtyard. Just after Qin Feng and his figures disappeared, several strong men and guards appeared on this small hill. They looked at the messy hill and frowned deeply. There were only some bloodstains here, but no bodies were found. This was because Qin Feng used the Suzaku divine fire to burn all the enemies to ashes when he left, and even scattered their ashes. These people dug deep into the ground, but did not find any useful information, so they had to leave. Some people had already had ideas in their minds. They had seen some of the Xia family's geniuses gather and headed in this direction. But this place has returned to peace. As for what happened, only God knows. Not long after, shocking news came from the Suzaku Holy Land. People learned that the soul lamps of Xiaji and Xiaye, the Xia family's geniuses, were all extinguished, which means that both of them were killed. As for who killed them, there was no news. But countless people have locked their eyes on Qin Feng. At this time, Qin Feng was the only one on the Suzaku Holy Land who had a grudge against the Xia family. However, there was no evidence that it was Qin Feng who did it, because the place where Xiaye had sent people to lead Qin Feng was very secretive, and more importantly, there was no corpse, so Qin Feng could not be directly accused. In the courtyard where Qin Feng was, he simply checked Zuck's maid. The other party was indeed poisoned. If she was not treated, she would die suddenly within 3 hours. In other words, Xiaye's people had no intention of letting Zuck's maid live. In response, Qin Feng was kind-hearted and detoxified Zuck's maid, and then drove her back to the residence of Zuck's aunt. He went to deliver the message to Zuck, and soon the maid Xiaolan brought food made by Zuck herself and became the contact person between the two. At this time, there were only 3 days left before the birthday of the Holy Lord. Qin Feng decided to challenge the Holy Sun. After winning, he asked the Holy Sun of the Holy Land to agree to take Zuck away. But unfortunately, if he could find an elder of the Holy Land of Zuck to register, then he might have a chance to compete for the quota of the Holy Sun of the Holy Land of Zuck. The next day, Qin Feng's courtyard was pushed open, and Zhu Luo, the elder of the Holy Land of Zuck, came to Qin Feng's courtyard. "Are you the former guard leader?" Qin Feng focused slightly and instantly discovered the identity of this person. "Sometimes I also work part-time as the person in charge of the dining hall." Zhu Luo smiled. Qin Feng was very talented, and he wanted to keep Qin Feng in the Suzaku Holy Land. "I don't know what you want to talk to me about, senior." Qin Feng smiled slightly. Although Zhu Luo appeared on the hill with Zhu Yang, he did not take action, so Qin Feng did not have a bad impression of him. "To be honest, I was once the quasi-holy son of the Suzaku Holy Land. Later, I was seriously injured in a war, which caused my realm to fall. Now I can only be responsible for some guards and sundries management." Zhu Luo slowly said his identity. His starting point was very high, but unfortunately he was seriously injured in a battle. Although he saved his life, he also fell in realm and became a laughing stock of the Suzaku Holy Land. However, due to his reputation as a quasi-saint, the Suzaku Holy Land treated him well. Not only did they raise him on the Holy Mountain, they also let him do some management work, which was also considered an elder. And the Holy Land promised that if Zhu Luo could heal his hidden injuries, he would automatically be promoted to an inner elder and could also accept disciples. That day, he happened to encounter the battle between Qin Feng and Xiao Lun. Qin Feng was extremely talented, which made him very happy. Later, after seeing Qin Feng's alchemy level, he was even more moved. Qin Feng's performance was far beyond his style when he was a quasi-saint. So, he developed a love for talent, which was why he asked the inner elder Zhu Yang to examine Qin Feng. But everyone knew what happened later. Zhu Yang was too conceited, and he didn't care much about the former useless Zhu Luo. If it weren't for his friendship with Zhu Luo, he would not bother to see Qin Feng. Qin Feng just nodded when he heard this. He didn't know why Zhu Luo told him about this. I don't care about his identity. No matter Zhu Luo is an elder or does he manage reception, what does it have to do with me? I have heard a little about your relationship with Zuck. It's not so easy for you to take her away. What do you mean, senior? Qin Feng's heart moved. Zhu Luo's words must be meaningful. Could it be that he knows something? In the past years, Zuck Holy Land did allow other geniuses to duel with the Holy Sun after selecting the Holy Sun, but even if they succeeded, it would be impossible to take the Holy Lady of Zuck away. Zhu Luo looked at Qin Feng with interest and smiled gently. He knew Qin Feng's thoughts clearly. The other party came to Zuck Holy Land for Zuck, not because of the invitation of the Holy Lord. Why not? Qin Feng didn't understand. Wasn't there a precedent of winning the challenge and taking away the saint? Suzaku is the saint of the previous generation of the Suzaku Holy Land after all. I advise you to give up this idea. Zhu Luo looked solemn. Suzaku was the saint of the previous generation. Not long after she was selected as the saint, she touched the formation of the Suzaku Holy Land during a practice, and then came to the small secret world of Huayun Valley. Later, Qin Feng rescued her and became his maid. This time, the Suzaku saint returned to the Holy Land. Under the marrow cleansing and bone cutting of the Holy Land, she has become a strong man who can move the 9 heavens. This progress is shocking. More importantly, they found that the Suzaku saint had no side effects in improving her realm. Therefore, there are a large number of suitors who want to get the favor of the Suzaku saint, and among these suitors there are quasi-sages and saints. Now, Suzaku has once again become a new generation of saint. She is outstanding in talent, very powerful, and has even more room for growth. In this case, the saint girl can only stay in the Suzaku Holy Land. The Suzaku Holy Land will not allow Qin Feng to take Suzaku away. Now, the Holy Lord has decided that Suzaku's Taoist partner must be born among the Holy Sons. If you don't become a cultivator of the Suzaku Holy Land, you can't take Suzaku away. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 300. How so? Qin Feng said thoughtfully that Suzaku girl was once a saint of the previous generation, which he had heard a little bit about. But this girl should have passed away a long time ago. Why do so many people care about her after returning to Suzaku Holy Land? After analysis by some elders in the Holy Land, we learned that the change in that girl Suzaku is probably related to you. Zhu Luo said solemnly that after Suzaku returned to Suzaku Holy Land, his talent was extremely amazing. The reason why Suzaku is named after the Holy Land Suzaku is because she has the blood of the gods in her body and is a descendant of the gods. Now, she was investigated by the elders of the Holy Land and learned that the divine bloodline in her body had been activated, causing the elders of the Suzaku Holy Land to take her very seriously. Is it related to me? Qin Feng was surprised, but then he felt relieved. He had Pangu bloodline, and Suzaku must have been following him, causing his physique to rise and his bloodline to become atavistic. So, if I want to compete with the Holy Sun for the Holy Girl, I must first become a member of the Suzaku Holy Land. Qin Feng instantly understood what Zhu Luo meant. If he wanted to keep the Suzaku saint by his side, he must first become the Holy Son of the Suzaku Holy Land. Zhu Luo's eyes lit up when he heard this, and he said, "Young man, you have indeed fallen in love with that girl Suzaku." "Yes, that's it." Qin Feng thought for a moment, and he felt that there seemed to be nothing wrong with becoming the holy son of the Suzaku Holy Land. Anyway, I don't have a good impression of the Qin clan's Holy Land, and I don't have any feelings towards the Qin clan's Holy Land. Senior, do you know how to become the holy son of the Qin clan? Qin Feng bowed slightly to Zhu Luo and said sincerely. At this time, there are only 2 days left before the Holy Lord's birthday. If he really can't challenge the Holy Son by then he will really take action and rob the Holy Girl. Zhu Luo finally got Qin Feng's answer and said slowly, if you want to become the Holy Son of the Vermilion Bird Holy Land, you must first become a true disciple of the Vermilion Bird Holy Land, and becoming a true disciple of the Holy Land is extremely difficult. Originally, I wanted you to staying under Zhu Yang's sect, but you have formed a quarrel with Zhu Yang. It seems that this matter is not going to work. I am immediately begging an inner disciple. As long as you can become a true disciple, you will have the opportunity to participate in the power conference in 3 days. Zhu Luo said again that he admired Qin Feng very much, and after seeing Qin Feng's Suzaku Divine Fire, he felt that Qin Feng's strength was definitely comparable to that of the quasi-holy son of the Suzaku Holy Land. Can't I first place my name on you, senior? Qin Feng frowned. If he met an inner sect elder like Zhu Yang, it would cause trouble again. Although I am an elder of the inner sect, in fact, I am only a candidate for the elder of the inner section. If I cannot repair the hidden wounds, I cannot send anyone to participate in the inner sect conference. And the Holy Son can only be born in the inner sect. Zhu Yang was very helpless. Because he was seriously injured and his level was low, his disciples could only participate in the outer sect competition. When the disciples break out from the outer sect, they will consume a lot of true energy. When the disciples of the inner sect compete with each other, they will inevitably fall behind. This also led to the reason why, although he was called the inner sect elder, he did not have any inner sect disciples under his sect. Otherwise, if he accepts an inner disciple whose cultivation level is higher than his, wouldn't it be embarrassing for him, and he will inevitably have the reputation of being a disciple who misleads others. As for the reason why Zhu Yang became the inner sect elder, it was not because he was powerful, but because he was an alchemy master. Then there is no turning point in this matter. When Qin Feng heard this, he frowned. It would be too troublesome for him to defeat the inner disciples all the way from an outer disciple to become a quasi-holy son. What he disliked most was trouble. Unless I can heal my injuries and return to my previous state, I will have the opportunity to recommend people to enter the inner gate. Zhu Luo said slowly, but why is it so difficult to restore the previous cultivation? If you recover your cultivation, can you become a recommender for our disciples? When Qin Feng heard this, a smile appeared on his face. He instantly used his fiery eyes to see through the injuries in Zhu Luo's body. He found that the aura in Zhu Luo's body was condensed, and there were a few mist entangled in his true energy, preventing him from exerting his full strength. From this point of view, it seems that Juro was secretly harmed, which prevented him from improving his realm. I have a way to heal your injury. After Qin Feng finished speaking, he took out a rejuvenating pill from his own space. Just when Qin Feng left Suanwu City, he refined a large number of soul-returning sheets for the Qin family, and he also lost some of them, but he didn't expect that they would come in handy at this time. Can this little pill cure my injury? Zhu Luo didn't believe it. After all, the injury had been with him for decades, and he couldn't improve his cultivation. Qin Feng randomly took out a pill and said it could cure his decades-old injuries, which made him not confident. After all, so many medical experts in the Suzaku Holy Land could not heal his injuries. Can Qin Feng really do it? According to rumors, only the 9 Revolutions resurrection pill can heal my hidden wounds. Although Zhu Luo accepted Qin Feng's elixir, he didn't take it seriously. How could Qin Feng's elixir cure his injury? The 9 turns of resurrection pill is an extremely perfect pill that can only be refined in 10 fingers in the entire world. Qin Feng was so young and not the holy son of the Holy Land, So how could he have such a 9-turn resurrection pill? When Qin Feng heard this, he smiled lightly and said, "Senior, please take a closer look." When Zhu Luo heard Qin Feng's words, he lowered his head and looked at the pill carefully. His eyes widened for a moment. 1, 2. Zulu looked at the pill patterns on the elixir in surprise. He counted them carefully. There were exactly 9 patterns on it, no more, no less. He was stunned for a moment. The elixir intertwined with 9 elixir patterns is called Peerless. The Peerless elixir is enough to heal his injuries and allow him to reach a higher level. Thank you very much, sir. Please pay me my respects. Zhu Luo was very surprised. He couldn't restrain his excitement and thanked Qin Feng. With this 9-turn resurrecting pill with 9 pill patterns, he can restore his cultivation, and he may even be able to advance to the rank of prince in the future. Senior, there is no need to be polite. What do you call me, senior? Qin Feng smiled and cupped his hands. His attitude was extremely humble. After all, this person was an elder who had left the Holy Land. Even though he was in decline, he should not be underestimated. My Majesty Zhu Luo, Mr. Qin doesn't need to refer to each other as a senior. Why don't you just call me senior brother? Zhu Luo smiled slightly. Even if his bust size recovered a little, he didn't think he could become Qin Feng's master. After all, Qin Feng's qualifications are even better than his. It is the best way for the two of them to treat each other as senior brothers and to be under the name of their master together.